Today's reading and meditation are about self-worth. Principle. When a person tries to make themselves seem more important because they feel inferior in some way, the opposite happens. The harder they try to embrace their worth, the less significant they actually become, and vice versa. When a person is not worried about their worth, their sense of worth is unconditional. Our sense of worth is a very cunning type of excess potential. Balancing forces will do anything they can to wobble you off your pedestal. When you let go of your own self-worth, your own worth, you start to acquire it. At the same time, be careful never to bruise someone else's sense of worth. Make it a personal taboo. If you do, you will save yourself a lot of problems that would seem to come out of nowhere. Interpretation. The need to strengthen your position and emphasize your finer qualities is an illusion. It's the same as chasing after the reflection in the vicious mirror circle. It is the same as chasing after the reflection in the vicious mirror circle. So how do you convince yourself that you are worthy and have no need to prove it? There is one feedback chain by which the effect removes the cause. You have to redirect your intention consciously. Rather than trying to put yourself forward in the most favorable light, stop making any attempt at all to increase your worth. When a person isn't trying to make themselves appear more important, although almost everybody does it, people intuitively sense that their value goes without saying, and that person is, as if by magic, treated with greater favor and respect. As a result, the heart and mind are gradually instilled with the conviction that I am really worth something. At a certain point, the mirror circle stops and then turns in the opposite direction, moving you as a result. Your self-esteem improves, and it is as if you have never had an inferiority complex. So I'm going to read that last line again. As a result, your self-esteem improves, and it is as if you've never had an inferiority complex. So the affirmation is, I am worth something. Okay, day 18, self-worth. Thank you, and stay tuned for the meditation. And make yourself as comfortable as possible, and ground and anchor. Thank you. I'll see you on the other side. Hello and welcome. This is Transurfing in 78 days, day 18. And today's topic is self-worth. I'd like you to make yourself comfortable. Imagine that you have roots coming out down from your feet and also down at your tailbone. And you can just imagine that you are a tube. Essentially, you started as a tube, and you still are a tube. But imagine that you're a tube of light, that you have this glistening light. You can imagine it 18 feet and 360 degrees if you'd like. You want an expansive aura. And just be aware today of when you expand and when you contract. You also want your aura to be defined. You want you to hold your aura. So your aura is your energy system that is surrounding you. And it is your boundary into this world. You are a transmitter and you are a receiver. We are made of water, and water holds energy. It holds, like in a solution, if you took science and ever stirred up salt. Think of, okay, today you can do this. Stir in some salt into water and see when it gets totally absorbed, and then pretty soon when you put too much in, it will start, what's it called? It will just start settling. It won't be able to take any more. So your physical body, your mental body is a sponge. If you don't take conscious control over your borders, over your filters, you will be at the beck. You will be hijacked. You will be taken over. Your thoughts will be easily controlled by the exterior world. So that's what basically these meditations are meant to do, is to help you, help me, help you to define the boundaries so that we're not so permeable to exterior batterings and programmings. So you can see and feel. I mean, our bodies are such magnificent, intense vehicles, temples, that we can actually feel when we're constricting. And when somebody like lies to us, there will be a constriction in our aura somewhere. We'll be able to feel it, and there will be a confusion, at least that's how I filter it. But each one of us is so unique and so beautiful, and so, I mean, even the bum on the street that we tend to want to discount and make into an unworthy being. I mean, if you've read the Bible, Jesus said, I am that person you're walking over. I am the poor. I am the hungry. I am the one in prison. And so, I'm sorry if I'm getting, I'm a preacher up on my, anyway, we have to be aware of how we've been programmed to view our world. And part of these meditations, my goal is to help people deprogram themselves so that they can realize who they actually are. Because for thousands of years, some people may say that it was, because of the flood. I love the archetypal parts of the Bible, the flood, or somebody might say Atlantis, when we really screwed up, misuse of power and technology, and we blew up essentially the world, and we were using it against the world, and to accumulate power. And we can actually see that if we get up, if you can imagine that you're bringing yourself up. I think that's where we'll go. Anyway, let's go down. Let's get into the meditation instead of the lecture. Anyway, imagine that you're anchored. Anchor your thumb to your index finger. And I'm going to ask you to sweep with your eyes that infinity symbol. And as you do this, do it at the pace that you want to do it at, and say 3, 2, 1, alpha. And this will make it so that throughout the day, if you're pondering something, you can get yourself into that state. Now reverse it and say 3, 2, 1 alpha, and that's where your brain waves are starting to slow. 3, 2, 1 alpha. And it can be that fast that you slip in, because we're actually slipping in and out of alpha and theta all day long. That's why we're so subject to propaganda, because they come in. I'm starting to lecture again, but let's just look at this. Okay, mock up a rose, and on your screen, be back into your director's chair, comfortable and feeling supported, grounded. You're an energy field. Imagine that your energy field is expansive and that you have control over its boundaries. The winds of other people's opinions of ourselves, just let that wind go through your branches, and you don't have to hold on to anything, any opinion of anybody else. Just goes through like you're a tree with branches, and it just whisks. You can be aware of it, but you can just let it go. Oh. Now up on the screen, I'd like you to put a rose, and this rose can represent yourself. And I'd like you to postulate that you can actually see the rose, even if you can't see the rose. What does that rose look like? And if you can't see the rose, just imagine that words are coming up, or feelings. Does it look like it's at the beginning? Like a bud, tightly shut? Or is it opening? Is it battered? Does it have insect holes? Just look at that rose and have it represent your life right now in this space and time. And now I would like you to connect that rose with the beautiful golden light just coming up, like the sunshine's shining down on it, and it's coming down and just cleansing the rose. And the rose is opening less tight, and the fragrance is beautiful. And now the rose is starting to respond like it was dry, and now it's moist. Now it's healthy and radiant. Okay, and then just take that rose, because it's just a mock-up, and just imagine that you can just make it pop and explode and go out of your aura. It's just a tool. And you can take another rose and put it up, and this rose is to be an extractor, of the thing to put any of the work we're doing that you want to let go of into that rose, and then explode it. Any resistance you've had towards the hours of your day, just any wounds that you have, just. And you can have thousands of roses going off all day long if you'd like, removing things that make you uncomfortable, things that limit you, things that restrict you, things that make you confused about what you really believe. Because we always know our own truth. It's just all hidden behind what we've been programmed. In the human body, the human mind is totally sponge-like. I mean, you take a little baby, you look at the infant as it's born, and it has its soul, yes, but the whole body, the whole physical matrix has to be reignited, like a baby reaching for a block or for a teething toy. You know, it's like at first their arm is just like trying to get to the goal, whatever toy it's reaching for, and then pretty soon starts becoming smooth and easy and effortless to grab that spoon or whatever. And that's what we're doing here, is we're training ourselves to be our own filter. We are a transmitter, we are a receiver, and we get to choose what we're receiving. And so let's imagine on our screen a beautiful beach, and the waves are coming in and the waves are coming out, and we're nice and warm because we've had a fire going, been with some good loving friends, and now everybody's left, and it's a sunny day, and it's warm, and we have some time to ourselves. And just imagine it's a sandy beach, and you write on the sand 12 right down by your feet, and the waves come in and wash that number 12 away, and then 11, and the waves come in and wash 11 away, and then 10, wave comes in and washes the 10 away, and as it does, we become more and more relaxed, feeling open and receptive to this journey. 9, wave, 8, 7, 10 times deeper, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're safe as the wave comes in and takes you out. It's like you're in a bubble. Floating on top of the ocean. And it's a magical glowing bubble with rainbow crystalline light all around you. And you feel the solidity of the earth slipping away, but you notice that your body is solid. In a air-like way. Your body is expanding to be more of a crystalline matrix instead of a carbon matrix. The carbon has become crystalline, I guess would be what we'd say. And you can sense where there's blockages in your body as you float, bob on top of the ocean waves, and it's just rocking you, rocking you. You know that you're safe and you know that you're secure as you rock on the waves. Going deeper and deeper down, more and more. into the realm. Now, I want you as this bubble to look at your body and how it has absorbed anything that made you afraid. That's a time when you're going to remember it. A lot of times, we partition within our body our emotions. Our emotions, if we don't let them flow and just get out, when we contract over the emotions to hide our emotions, they become a barrier. We blockade to keep ourselves safe. And if you think about it, the world is in so much turmoil every day. It would be overwhelming to not partition these things. So it's a skill of our mind that we want to keep. We want to be able to filter. But right now, you're in your subconscious realm, and the subconscious can do a trillion tasks every day. It's almost, we can't count what our physical body does. Every single day, the operations that our subconscious mind, and some people would say that our physical body is our subconscious mind. And you're rocking in this wave, bobbing on the ocean. And just imagine that your subconscious mind is taking anything that hides the fact that you are an eternal being, worthy of being here on this planet right now. And it's allowing the water to absorb this, like you're a cell, and cells are always seeking homeostasis, which means balance. And they use polarity to do this. And so just imagine that there's a magnet in the salty water of the waves that is pulling through osmosis anything that is not you, supportive of you, being the best that you can be, just out easily and effortlessly in a healthy and gentle manner, just like you are a cell. Regaining your sovereignty, but through the sovereignty, being a cell, you are also a part of the greater whole of your body. And then let me say, okay, I'd like you to imagine that you're coming back to your director's chair as a sovereign, free human being who is self-confident and knows that they belong here on earth and are the director of their perceptions of reality, and that you have a filter well in place and you are confident. And when I say you in these meditations, you say I am confident. Okay, and every thought you think is a magnet. It's either transmitting or it's absorbing. And just be aware of when your attention is being stolen. And you're back in the director's chair, feeling good, feeling like you've been laughing and crying, such relief, feeling totally relaxed and rejuvenated and ready to take on whatever it is you want to take on today. And I'd like to say peace and aloha. This is Quantum Timelines, Nancy Brookman, and it's day 18 that we've just done, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.